Hi world, I'm Aleu, and it's nighttime, so I thought I'd make a video. Now, I want to share with you guys a little something, and what I'm about to share with you is the top 10 superheroes that I would kiss. Now, the superheroes that I'm about to list in reverse order from 10 to 1 are going to be based on the original character, the comic book, the cartoon interpretation, and the live-action movie interpretation. So it's kind of all jumbled into one of how much I want to get down. And by get down, I mean kiss. Oh, and before I start this video, I'm going to say I don't do that whole Marvel versus DC rivalry bullshit. Okay, I love Marvel and I love DC. Even when I've tried to think of which one I love better, I can't. Because half of my favorite heroes belong to Marvel and the other half DC. So I can't say which one I love more. It's like asking which one of my breasts I love more. Now, let's begin. Number 10, Green Lantern. Okay, green is already one of my favorite colors, so he gets points there. And there's like 5 of them to choose from, so it's like if you get tired of one Green Lantern, you just skip on to the next one. And there's also a black one. Yeah. But no, in all seriousness, I like Green Lantern. He's in my top 10. He's not my ultimate favorite, but I really do like Green Lantern. I think it's pretty much the obvious answer, but my favorite Green Lantern is Hal Jordan, obviously, second Green Lantern. So yeah, I think he's the cutest and the sexiest, and I think he has the most story out of all of them, in my opinion. So yeah. Number 9, Thor. We got him squealing like a little schoolgirl already. Okay, Thor was never one of my favorite superheroes. Let me start by saying that. However, in sexiness points, Thor gets to number 9. First of all, you have Chris Hemsworth playing him in the movie, Sexy Australians for the win, and he's a freaking god. Like, can you imagine how good he must be at kissing? Number 8, Batman. Now I know you're like, why isn't Batman in the top 5? Why? Well, Batman is obviously one of my favorite heroes. He's in the top 10, but I don't know, he might be a little bit too stoic for my chipper personality. So he still gets those sexiness points for his kind of dark, gloomy sex appeal, if that makes sense. But he was never, I don't think, in my top 3 superheroes. Now, if we're going to go on the merits of Christian Bale as Batman, that's another story, because Christian Bale is just sexy, all in all. And actually, in the cartoon versions of Batman, bug me so much, because he's such a jerk in the cartoons. Even in the comics, he's, kind of relatable, but in the cartoons, especially the more recent cartoons, he's always, the kind of dark leader, and is just a jerk to everyone, so that's not that attractive, but he still gets attractive points. He's still on the list because he's freaking Batman. Number 7, Hawkeye. I love Hawkeye, and I will tell you why right now. Okay, when I was a kid, one of the first video games that I ever played, along with Super Mario Brothers and SimCity for the Super Nintendo, one of the first games I played was the frickin' Avengers video game for Super Nintendo. And obviously Hawkeye was in it, and I loved frickin' being him and being able to shoot people with arrows and crap. So cool! Yeah, I think he's way better than the Green Arrow. Hawkeye could kick the Green Arrow's ass. And I think just the fact that he's a really, really cool character from my childhood makes him sexy to me. So, 6, Aquaman. Come on, anyone who knows me knows I'm freaking obsessed with mermaids. So me and Aquaman, we'd make a really good couple. You know, he has a little spiral curl in his hair. Adorable. And he's part fish. I mean, I could have lots of fun with that. We could go under the sea and I could sing to him like Ariel. Aquaman. Number 5, I hate to put him so far back on the list at number 5, but hey, he made the top 5, and that is Wolverine. Yum, okay? Wolverine is one of my favorite characters of all time, one of my favorite superheroes of all time. I love his backstory. I have the Wolverine's origin, like, book that's like this thick. 2 words. Hugh Jackman. Number 4, Cyclops. Now, I hate to put Cyclops before Wolverine, but we're going on merits of sexiness, and Cyclops can get it, okay? I think everybody knows that Cyclops is probably one of the sexiest superheroes out there. He's just fine. And it did definitely help his case that James Marsden played him in the movies, because James Marsden is damn fine. Oof, James Marsden. I'll save him for a whole other video, because he is just worlds of sexy. Now, Cyclops, pretty obvious. Which is really funny, because I think a lot of my friends would disagree with the placement of Cyclops, because most of my friends like Gambit. Now, I like Gambit, but I never really got into him like that. I didn't think he was that sexy. But some young fillies would beg to differ. Number 3. You guys might be surprised by this one, but Static Shock, okay? If you even had a smidgen of childhood, then you remember watching Static Shock on Kids WB and Saturday mornings, or at like 5 after school or something like that. Now, Static, definitely, hands down, one of my favorite superheroes out there. The storyline, the cartoon, the writing, it was just totally 90s, and that's my decade that I was born, so total 90s, you know, cliches, but it's hilarious. Also, Static Shock is the one character whom I adamantly prefer the cartoon over the comic book. That doesn't happen to me often, but Static Shock, I cannot get into adult Static Shock. Like, I like adult Static, obviously, but the cartoon, hands down, takes the cake. Hey Hollywood, if you're thinking about making a Static Shock movie, you know what? I'd give Richie the business too, okay? Me and Gear. Yeah. Number 2. The Flash. The Flash is freaking sexy, okay? I love him in the cartoons. I love him in the Justice League, because he's just this, like, bro-ass, like, guy. He's so funny. I love comedic superheroes who don't take their job too seriously. And the Flash is definitely that. He has fun with his job, and he's freaking hilarious, and I love me a funny guy. So, Flash is at number 2. He's fast! And, number 1, drum roll, Captain America! I love Captain America. I think I would go as far to say that Captain America is my favorite superhero of all time. And it dates back to what I told you about Hawkeye, which is the game The Avengers for Super Nintendo. Fell in love with Captain America and Hawkeye in that moment. I love Captain America. I've never seen an adaptation of Captain America that I didn't like. He stands for truth, justice, and the American way. Red, white, and blue, baby. And I think he should be president. But yeah, Captain America, he's freaking sexy. The cartoon adaptations, the comic adaptations, and the movie adaptations, all very noble, all very American. He went from being a nothing to being a freaking superhero, which is kind of like an intertwining of the American dream. Look at me getting all philosophical and whatnot. Oh, and there's one more surprise. Someone gets an honorable mention. Can you guess who it is? No, you can't. The honorable mention goes to Deadpool, because he has recently become a new favorite of mine, and I don't know, I love Deadpool now. Like, He's another one that's like a cunning trickster, but he still manages to be a hero, and doesn't take his job so seriously to the point where he doesn't have a sense of humor. Well, one catch-22 with Deadpool is that while we're bumping and grinding, kissing, he's gonna need to keep his mask on. Okay? So, those were my top 10 superheroes that I would kiss. I think my neighbors are looking through my window. Nothing to see here. I'm not being nerdy. Forever alone. Okay, I'll see you guys later. I'm gonna go before... yeah.